Hello everyone, welcome to my channel General Hospital. Rick notices something is up with Sonny, and Cody turns to Anna for help. Today on General Hospital, Curtis and Drew have a war of words, Brad works out, and Laura gives Lulu advice about Dante. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Trina surprises Kai at the hospital. He has trouble getting his sling on, so she aids him. She brings up that he could lose his scholarship if he can't play, so she thought they could brainstorm a new major and path for him to stay in school. Irate, he says he can't deal with this now. He can barely arrange to schedule his physical therapy. She asks if that means the second opinion resulted in a more hopeful outlook. He explains they could promise nothing, and he always knew the risks of playing football. He also doesn't know if he even wants to go back to school right now. Kai knows Trina thinks she's helping, but she's not. He appreciates her coming, but he needs time to himself. She says she'll lead him to it, but he doesn't need to do this alone. Trina leaves, and Kai watches older videos of him playing on his phone. Trina looks in on him from outside, makes a call, and asks someone to meet her at GH, as she needs their help. At Sonny's gym, Jordan isn't surprised to find Drew hitting the bag hard and wonders if he's trying to drive away everyone who thought they knew him. Drew assumes she's upset about the stalled Esplanade project, which Jordan is, as she worked on that project too. Drew complains about what the Quartermains are doing to him, but she is here to talk about the Esplanade. Drew says it can still happen, it just depends on Curtis' next move. Elsewhere, Brad is putting himself through a hellish training session to get ready for Miami. After his session, he flexes his muscles and thinks Lucas will love how he looks. At the Metro Court, Portia meets with Curtis, who is in a good mood. She knows there is a holdup with the Esplanade, which is a big project for Aurora. Curtis says he has everything under control. Drew is stalling the project, and he's working on making allies on Capitol Hill to deal with Drew. As for Aurora's next steps, that involves them sipping drinks on the beach. He wants them to scout some islands for Aurora's next division, Aurora Resorts. She becomes giddy and can already feel the sand between her toes. Suddenly, Jordan calls Curtis and asks him to come to Sonny's gym. Nearby, Rick and Eva meet for breakfast and plan to offer Sonny and Diane a deal to try and wrap the custody case up. Ava thanks him for his generosity and for representing her pro bono. He assures her he's not doing this for free. Ava just assumed he was, as he had stopped hounding her for money. Rick thinks she assumes everything is free now because they kissed. Ava says that kiss is never to be spoken of again, but after she gets her daughter back, they can discuss what might come next for them. Curtis arrives at the gym, spots Drew working out, and thinks this is why Jordan wanted to see him. Jordan brings up the Esplanade, and Curtis explains Drew is stalling it until he gets his company back and screws over Michael. Drew claims that's not true. He is looking after his constituents, and the environmental report came back, which has caused issues. He says it's up to Curtis to resolve these problems. Curtis says Aurora will be fine without the Esplanade, but Drew will be screwing over Jordan and the man who gave him his seat in Congress. Drew notes Curtis seems tense, and maybe they should work it out in the ring. Jordan was hoping they could settle this like the adults she thought they were. Curtis warns Drew that he's new to Congress, has alienated his backers and friends, and has overextended himself and left himself wide open. Curtis storms out, Jordan follows, and Drew appears concerned. At Diane's office, Diane tells Christina she's so sorry about what happened to Sam. Christina thanks her for letting her use her business meeting with her dad to talk to him about something important. Sonny arrives and tells Diane that he'll be going to LA on business soon, and he is worried that selling Charlie's to Christina on the cheap could raise some eyebrows. He says everything is legit with the sale, and she says she'll handle any issue at the door, and it's Ric and Ava. Ric is glad Sonny is here, as it will make this all the easier. Ric explains they'd come up with an offer regarding the custody agreement. Ric says given the explosion at Sonny's place, he cannot provide a safe environment for Avery, so he won't win this case. Ric hands Diane the papers he's drawn up, and she laughs at Ava getting sole custody and Sonny getting visitation. She won't accept this, so Ric says they'll go to court. Ric says he'll be calling Christina to the stand and questioning her about Sonny beating Dex and the fall that cost her her unborn child. Ava tells Sonny to take the agreement and spare both his daughters the heartache. Sonny leans on the desk, clearly having a hard episode. Sonny says he'll see them in court, and Diane shows them out. Diane notes clearly they are desperate, and Sonny explains Ava's funds have dried up. Christina thinks this is good news and that they should wait this out. Diane says not so, and Ava's argument is stronger than theirs. She says Ric made valid points. It's on record that the fire in his penthouse was deliberately set, and Christina being a witness to Dex's beating also works in Ava's favor. Sonny says Ava can't pay Ric, so he's taking her case only to hurt him. Christina notes they can't let Ava have Avery. Diane leaves them to talk. Sonny says Diane is right, and Ric will hammer her on the stand. Christina says to let him, as she won't let Ava have her daughter when she loses hers. Sonny asks Christina why she wanted to see him today. She tells him about Sam's murder, and he asks if Dante knows. She thinks he must, and the cops are looking into it. Sonny says he'll take care of Dante, and that everyone has a breaking point. Ric and Ava return to the Metro Court, and Ava vents about how that went. Ric says he may be wrong, but he suspects something is going on with Sonny. He says maybe Sonny doesn't want to see this through. Maybe he realizes cutting her out will hurt Avery. Ava has hope and assures him that he'll get paid, and then maybe they'll see where things between them can go. Laura and Lulu meet at the coffee house. As Lulu talks about Rocco and Dante, Laura realizes she's still in love with Dante. Lulu says she loves Dante, but he's still grieving Sam. She notes they were divorced when the explosion happened. Lulu admits she ended things with Dustin and planned to tell Dante that she never stopped loving him. That was then, and now he's grieving Sam, and they have been fighting a lot. Dante makes it impossible, even when she tries to get along with him. Laura suggests it's because she's pushing Dante away. Lulu fears Dante will always see her as the woman who Sam died to save. Laura says she'll never know how he feels if she doesn't talk to him about this. Laura says Dante did love Sam, and he is grieving. However, when they found out they could lose Lulu, Dante camped out at her bedside and fought for her. Laura knows it's possible to love two people at once, and there is a place in Dante's heart for Lulu. Lulu knows it's not rational, but she feels it's her fault Sam died, and maybe Dante does too. Laura says she is not responsible for Sam's death. Only one person is, and that is the person who killed Sam. Lulu knows, but she can't silence that voice saying it is her fault, and every time she sees Dante, it gets louder. Laura again tells her to ask Dante how he feels. Back at the hospital, Portia overhears Brad on the phone ordering suntan lotion. She tries to sneak off unseen, but Brad spots her and asks for another vacation day off to tack onto the trip to Miami. She says she has made many accommodations for him, but she has limits, and he's asking for too much too often, which people will notice. Brad asks if that is a yes. She tells him to enjoy his vacation day and walks off. Dan storms into Anna's office, demanding to know why he's locked out of Sam's murder investigation. She's sorry for his loss, but he is too close to this case. She says he has no objectivity, and the case could be thrown out if he solves it. She also worries what he might do if he found the killer, and if he could take the law into his own hands in this instance. Dandy asks what that means. Do they have a suspect? She says they have a person of interest, but will not tell him any more. She puts him on a week's paid leave, and when he returns, he needs to see the department psychologist. Dandy says fine and storms out. Brooklyn finds Cody in the stables to talk to him about that summer romance she had with Dante long ago. Cody says, "That summer you got pregnant?" She asks if he ever told Dante, but he didn't, as she swore him to secrecy. He remembers driving her to the bus station, but he never saw her again until he started working here. He asks why she said she and Chase are trying to start a family, and now that Dante is living in the house, it's brought up old feelings. Cody thinks if she had told Dante back, then he would have stepped up, not like other guys. Cody begins ranting and reveals Sasha is pregnant and she should have to be going through it alone. Cody storms off, and Don shows up looking for his friend to talk to. Brooklyn says he just left, and she can see something is eating him. He reveals Anna won't let him help find the person who killed Sam. He tells her about his meeting with Anna, and his behavior proves Anna right that he's not able to handle this case. Dandy blames himself for Sam's death, and he doesn't know how to live with that. Brooklyn lets him know that she's here if he needs anything. He says she's a pretty good friend when she tries, and they hug. Suddenly, Lulu walks in. Cody drops by Anna's office looking for Mac, as he needs to get a message to Robert. Anna says he can contact Robert, but Cody says he can wait for Mac, who is out. Anna pushes, and Cody says Sasha is in trouble, and it's Jason's fault. Anna needs details, but Cody thinks he should talk to Robert directly. Anna says he can speak to her, and Cody blurts out that Sasha is pregnant and Jason's the father. On the next General Hospital, Jordan has drinks with Isaiah. Jordan says, hopefully, one day we can put it to the test. Laura visits with Lucky and Liz and says she has news. Gio tells Emma, I have a bad feeling about this. Trina calls Curtis to the hospital to help with Kai. He asks her what is so urgent. Alexis cries to Sonny. That is something I'm going to live with for the rest of my life. Maxie tells Sasha, the more you stonewall, the more it looks like you have something to hide. Lulu tells Dante, nothing could be further from the truth. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.